Yes, this is Dimbala Freak, and we are here for the next few minutes as we are going to analyze what is happening in terms of sports and also in terms of football all over the world. Premier League is now heading into the international break after what we saw yesterday, a thrilling, entertaining encounter between Chelsea and Arsenal. We are all going to discuss all about the Premier League, and also we tend to know what is happening in terms of football from local, international, and also in the whole world. This is Afrik 24, Dimbal Afrik. I am Boniface Kimanzi, and we are going to discuss all this in the next few minutes and get to know more about the top football news that trended all over the week. Because in Afrik 24, we got you. We make sure that you have the best football analysis. And in Afrik 24, we make sure that you got the best news. As we start, you know that in the FKF, we have the Football Kenya Federation, whereby we are heading to the elections. By December 7th, we shall be having our elections, and elections are going to give us the next FKF president. Current the FKA president of the Football Kenya Federation is Nicky Mwendwa, who has served for the last 2 terms, and still he wants to get into these elections because his deputy is still vying for this seat. Is Nicky going to get back? But we also saw that the Ministry of Sports, you see, Ministry of Sports, headed by Kipchumba Murkomen, they said that it is not item that Nick Mwendwa gets back to the Football Kenya Federation because he thinks that football needs someone who can change the reign in this country. Because as Kenyans, we have been saying that the moment we will fix football in this country, and from the management, it is when our Kenyan soccer will move ahead. And that is all generally for sports. Because you know that sports is something that is very unique. And you know that most countries they depend on sports for their living. So do you think that Nick Mwendwa should be back into this sports and lead the FKA president? That is what I am asking here in Africa 24. Make sure to join us. And also, if you're following us through the comment section, you can tell us who do you think is the best candidate for the Football Kenya Federation, that is FKF, in the next few weeks. It is going to be tough competition because we have Cleophas Timanyula, we also have Barry Otieno, who was the former CEO for the Football Kenya Federation, and also we have Samuel Wino Kempes. Samuel Wino Kempes is the former Gor Mahia and Harambee Stars midfielder. Still, will be vying for this seat in the FKF. We also have Toto is still there. Top candidates have already presented their papers to vie for this FKF president. Hussein Mohamed, together with McDonald Mariga, McDonald Mariga is the former Inter Milan and also Champions League winner, together with the Inter Milan in European countries. So, do you think that who is going to be the best candidate for this FKA president? That is what we are asking here in Africa 24. Join us through the comment section there. You tell us where you're following the conversation from, and also, who do you think is the best candidate for this FKF president? In the grassroots, they see that the moment we are going to fix football in this country, then that is the time we are going to improve. That is the time we are going to move ahead. Because, sports in this country is one of the diverse areas whereby we can make money, we can make this Kenyan flag move ahead. So who do you think is the best candidate for this Football Kenya Federation? We're asking that in Africa 24. And of course, before we jump into the European competition, you know that we are fighting. And we saw the other day whereby Kitui Court, that is Kitui Court halted. To halt is to stop and also make sure that we are not going to have this FKF branch nomination. That was supposed to happen on Saturday. But still, the court of Kitui, they said that they are not ready for this branch election for the Football Kenya Federation as we wait, because during this time it is when we are having this branch election, and this branch election will give us away for the Football Kenya Federation, whereby we're supposed to have this election by December 7th. And we're going to get the president of Football Kenya Federation. So some people are saying this is a cartel thing, whereby they want to make sure that their candidates are going to win the FKF president. That is why they stopped that branch election for the FKF nomination, whereby these nominations are the ones that could give us the way for the FKF president in December 7th. So do you think that FKF is still corrupt? That was what we are asking here in Africa 24, because they are saying that sports in this country has been one of the major things that have been neglected from the top management to the grassroots, and still we want to make this go into West. So who is going to be the next FKF president? We saw the debate that happened in Catholic University of East Africa, and they really represented their manifesto. The likes of Samuel Kempes, who is the former Gor Mahia and also Harambee Stars midfielder. We also have Cleophas Simanyola, and also we have the CEO, the former CEO, that is Barry Otieno, still vying for this FKA president. Who's going to be the next FKA president? Still here, I'm joined by Mzee Kilong. Mzee Kilong, karibu sana kwa Africa 24, tuambie mambo vipi, lakini na shughuli iko aje?
Asante sana Boni. It's nice to be here as always. Naendelea freshi huku Nairobi, tuna maneno. We are doing good and we are grateful to be alive and kicking. And yeah, that's it. So we're going to talk about football and looking forward to the show. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Kilong. For the last 2 weeks, we have not had this show. I was a bit held up, but we are here. I can see Kilong is having. He always represents his own team. He is one of the loyal followers for Chelsea, and of course, Kilong. We saw that there's something that happened all over the weekend, and before we go to the European countries, we saw whereby the FKA branch nominations. Those are the elections that were to give us away so that we can have these elections whereby the delegates are going to give us the next FKA president. Football Kenya Federation is going to have this election, but still the court of Kitui stopped this branch election. This branch election were to happen all over the world. That is all over the country, Kenya, from all 47 counties. But they stopped it. They are saying that cartels are there. They are trying to manipulate these elections so that they can get their candidate to win this election. Do you think that still our football is having those corrupt leaders?
Of course, you can't separate corruption from Kenyan politics, be it football politics, be it national politics, county politics, village politics. Corruption is widespread in Kenya. That's the disease that is killing us. So I'm not surprised to hear that that there is widespread allegation of corruption. But all the same, the nominations have to happen regardless of what's happening. We just need to tighten our belt and see if we can bring back Kenya football back to its former glory. Because as it stands now, we are lagging behind. We are way behind also East African countries such as Uganda and Tanzania. They are way ahead of us in terms of football. So we really need to pull up our socks so that we can remain competitive. Especially, also we're also starting the we're not starting, but in 2027 the AFCON is approaching, and we're yet to see any step towards that here in Kenya. So I hope that we sort out our issues and make the FKF alive again, make us competitive. And I believe once we sort our issues with the FKF, then it will translate to the football squad, to the Harambee Stars, and we will start performing internationally.
Yes, Mzee Kilong is saying that the moment we are going to do this, then we are going to fix sports in this country. We have the AFCON 2027 bid, whereby we are going to host this AFCON together with Uganda, Tanzania. But it's still our Kasarani. I was in Kasarani. I never saw anything there that is happening. And also, I was in Moi, and also we were in Nyayo. We saw what happened. We have Dandora Stadium, which is very small, that cannot even host even a training. We're still waiting to see whether the Ministry of Sports, we have new CS for sports, that is Kipchumba Murkomen, who said that is going to make sure that this sector is moving ahead. But still, we have not seen any change. A change starts with the top management. They're saying that cartels discover that sports is not very much followed by the government, and that's why they're saying most of people in this country, they venture there even if they don't know football, and they're going to waste properties, be corrupt in that area, and they're going to make this sector get lost. We have a lot of talents in Kenya. We have people who are now using their talents to earn living, but still we are suffering. Who's going to be the next FKA president? Earlier the week, CS said that Nick Mwendo is not ready and he should not even vie for the FKA president because he has served for the 2 terms, but he is now supporting his vice president now, Doris Petra. Others are saying that Doris doesn't know in football. Since she got into that FKA for the last 2 terms, what has she done? She has never spoke to the media. She has never done anything, and still they are buying. They want to win this election. So who is going to be the next candidate for the FKA president? That is what we are asking here. And remember, if you are following us for the first time, this is Freak 24, Dimbala Freak. We are analyzing sports in this country and also all over the world. And that is all what we had in grassroots football. But before we move to the European football, we saw also earlier this week whereby a match between Gor Mahia and Talanta, that is Bandari, that was held in Mombasa, whereby Gor Mahia fans, they went ahead and started beating their coach and also causing violence. And also we saw FC Leopards where also they are causing violence. We also saw Shabana, they are causing violence. Kelong, do you think that we will match those international countries and European countries the same way we are doing these shits in our grassroots football?
We still have a long way to go if we are still engaging in hooliganism, because if your team doesn't perform in the pitch, doesn't mean banning or beating up players or throwing stones will help anything. You just need to improve the football quality. That's how you remain competitive. But hooliganism and throwing stones is a thing of the past. It's like we are still living in the Stone Age where we take fights literally. So that's a sad state of affairs. We need to improve that we can even think of competing internationally, because if we are still lagging behind, if we are still engaging in petty hooliganism, then we are not yet ready to compete.
Kilong is saying that if we are still engaging into this hooliganism, then we are not ready to compete. That is what we are saying here. If you are not going to give us these standards, then we are not going to match our football to those countries. Alex, you join us here. Please, can you turn on your camera so that we can be ready to go on, and you give us your opening remarks on why do you think that Kenyan football is struggling to move ahead together with what is happening? Because you saw there was a fight between Gor Mahia and also Gusi, that is the Shabana fans, FC Leopards fans. Those are the teams. Those fans are still causing those hooliganism in the street. Something that can cause harm to the players and also to the coaches. Whereby we saw AFC Leopards coach being beaten in Mombasa. It is tough, but do you think that this is something that should be encouraged in our grassroots football? Yet we are trying to match the likes of Simba, Yanga, and also TP Mazembe.
Good evening, Bonnie. Okay, so in like few words, what is your question? Because hiyo nimesikia nika ni statement.
I think that question you cannot frame it back. What do you think is happening in local football in Kenya?
Local football in Kenya. So kitu ina happen
You you,
right now
you,
is
you you just based on what happened to Bandari, Gor Mahia, and Shabana FC fans.
so like I said, what is happening in Kenya is something which has been there from the past. You see, these things are deeply rooted in our sports sector. Embezzlement of funds and mismanagement of talent
No.
and
I'm
like
asking. There was a fight between Gor Mahia, AFC, and Shabana fans, whereby the fans, whereby their teams, when they lose, they are going to fight. They are going to intrude into the pitches and they start fighting each other. Do you think that we are going to match the likes of Yanga, Simba in Tanzania, TP Mazembe, Orlando Pirates in South Africa? Yet we are having those kind of things happening still in our local football and also
yes,
in our
yes, Bonnie,
national
we
football.
can match those teams. As I said, we just need to put some measures. Like for example, if the fans go invade the pitch and they start fighting, you put sanctions on them, ban them for let's say like 6 months. So when they come back, they will get some discipline. If not so, put sanctions again. They will learn. That thing was done in Italy. There was a time which there was a team. I think it was called. I'm not so sure. I don't remember the name, but there are clubs in Italy where things like this were happening. And so what did they do? They put sanctions. They banned the fans for something like 6 months. And when they came back, there was some sort of discipline. And in any malpractice, they were repercussions. So when there are repercussions, the people have to know. That's one way of dealing with hooliganism.
It's one way of dealing with the organism. That is, Alex, saying that we should not condemn, we should not allow these kind of things to happen in our football. Because personally, when I saw the fans fighting, even the referee, FC Leopards coach was beaten thoroughly. I don't know how could this happen. And are we ready for the AFCON 2027? Because I am very sure if Harambee Stars is going to lose against South Africa, Harambee Stars is going to lose against Senegal, then our fans are still going to fight. So this thing can even make us get a world time banned by FIFA. If at any point they are going to get into the pitches in 2027, we don't have even a stance to prevent the fans. Our stadiums, they don't have stands. Nowhere you can prevent the fans. They're just open. They're just open. Kilong, do you think that these fans are going to have to do these kind of things in 2027, or we might not host this 2027 AFCON?
Yeah, if I told you, if we are still engaging in petty hooliganism, then it will be a long way because that's football of the past where fans take their grievances to the field and fight each other. That's a thing of the past. So, as I said before, we need to just step up and see internationally, even learn from our brothers in Uganda and Tanzania. They have good teams, and they don't engage in petty hooliganism because that is taking two step backwards. So here in Kenya, we need to learn that your team being defeated or your team playing uh, low quality football will not be improved by beating each other or throwing stones or hurling stones to each other. So that's something we need to improve on if at all we want to show that we can we can compete internationally. So the 2027 AFCON will be a big challenge, and we'll see if at all we're going to host it, how the fans will behave.
Kilong is saying that 2027 we are going to see how fans are going to behave, because 2027 is going to be a big day for this country, Kenya. We are going to host this AFCON 2027. Are we ready? Because we saw even the CAF president, that is Motsepe, in the country investigating those stadiums, but still, the way he saw it, he said that we have a long way to go. We have a lot of projects that are really ongoing, and still, if we are not serious, then we are not going to host this AFCON. Personally, if I would be asked today, then I would say that we should not host AFCON 2027, because we don't have a big stadium. We don't have any stadium for opening matches, because if then we have stadium, then why are we playing outside? We saw earlier today whereby Harambee Stars, they left for South Africa. Something that it is really, really sucky, because we don't have that home advantage. We saw us playing against South Sudan in Nambole Stadium, Uganda, and also we played in Jumba National Stadium, International Stadium in Sudan, whereby we lost both home and away. Home, that is away, because in Uganda, that is not our town. That is a Uganda town, whereby that was CHAN qualification. And this CHAN is going to be hosted in Africa. And this is that is like our Champions League. So if we cannot even play Champions League in Africa, then how are we going to match those European countries, the likes of Euros, the likes of those Champions League, Europa Conference? We are still struggling as Harambee Stars. And I think we are over 52 million people. Does it mean that we cannot have a very strong national team that can play for our country? Does it mean that we are very poor in terms of sport, such that we cannot develop our infrastructures? I think that is a major problem. And we know, because of this corruption that is happening in this country, that is why we are struggling to have these projects ongoing. Former CS Abamu Namamba said that he tried, because he is the one who is saying that he made that historical moment for Kenya, whereby the junior under 17 women went to Dominican Republic together with head coach, that is Mildred Cheche, whereby they went and they were defeated by England, Korea, but they won against Mexico, whereby that was historical. I think we are still far much behind. We are not ready for AFCON 2027. We are still having cartels. We are still corrupt in this Ministry of Sports. And President, if you follow this channel, then you can also intervene, because sports is being killed. The way they get attention during athletics competition, then let's have this to football. Let's support soccer. That is all what I can say here, because we are suffering. Back to the European football, we are having this UEFA Champions League, we are having Europa, we are having Conference Cup. So kila timu inacheza mahali pake. The same way we are heading to the international break, the table is looking the way it wants. That is what I can say. The table is still a firm. EPL is very tough. But before we go to EPL, I witnessed Champions League games all over the last week, and I was not shocked to see Aston Villa being defeated by Club Brugge. I was shocked. Unai Emery lost for the first time. I also saw Bayern struggling. I also saw Arsenal being defeated by Inter Milan and San Siro stadiums. I also saw Liverpool pulling a great performance under the Bayer Leverkusen in the Anfield. Kilong, before I go to Kilong, Alex, who do you think is going to win Champions League this season? From what you have seen from game number 1 to game number 4.
I think for me, my take is, as things stand, if you ask me right now, if the final is being played today, the best team for me to win the Champions League, I will go with Barcelona. One, because I think they have good game management. They play they play a high line, which teams are yet to discover that high line. And I think they have a fluent attack. We see Robert Lewandowski is in high scoring form. We see Rafinha. Rafinha is doing great after being given the armband. He's delivering. We see Lamine Yamal playing well, and they have already shown us signs because they beat Bayern Munich 4-1 and they beat Real Madrid in the league. And if I look at the teams that are there in the Champions League, I don't see a team that right now can beat Barcelona in the Champions League, whether they're playing home or away on a neutral ground. And if so, I stand to be challenged.
Why are you saying
Ronaldo-
Barcelona? You cannot just say Lewandowski is the one who is going to spearhead together with Lamine Yamal. You cannot just say they are going to win, yet they are playing as small teams. They have not faced those tough teams. They just defeated Bayern Munich. And Bayern Munich, since they now got a new coach, they are not still the Bayern Munich we used to know. Why do you see this? At Barcelona, they have not met strong teams. In the Champions League, we have strong teams. I want to give you a strong team. When you see strong team in the Champions League, we say a team that can dominate from the defense, midfield to the striking. An example is FC Porto. Have you watched FC Porto playing? Then that is the
Yes,
team
I
that you
do.
can say if Barcelona wins, you cannot just win against Real Madrid. Real Madrid, they just win during the times they want. You see, their defense sometimes is not strong. The attacking is always because of experience. They don't have that sharp attacking. A sharp attacking is found in FC Porto, for example. A sharp attacking is found in teams like a team like Inter Milan. Inter Milan, they have a very sharp attacking. When you go to Spain, there's a club in Spain that has sharp attack, not Real Madrid. I'm going to give you the names. Girona. Have you seen Girona playing? They might
Yes, I
have a
do.
very poor defense. They might have a poor midfield, but the time they are going to get into a box, then that is what you know. Why are you saying this?
So as I said, Bonnie, if I look at the philosophy, the style of playing for Hansi Flick, they do play a highline. Even though Bonnie, I don't think Barcelona have the best squad. Like if you go, let's say, player for player with teams like let's say Real Madrid, I don't think Barcelona has the strongest squad. I don't think they have the depth, but I like the philosophy, the style of play, and I'm saying it's yet to be debunked by this team. That highline of Hansi Flick, his ideas, I think they're yet to be debunked. And you have said, Bonnie, yes, they are yet to play big clubs. They have only played Bayern Munich, and Bayern is a big club. They have, you have said they have a new coach. Also, Barcelona has a new coach, so they're all the same. So, and I think as they go on, they will face other clubs. As we progress to January onwards, maybe times will change. They won't be strong, but what I can say is, as of now, I don't think there's a team that can beat them in the Champions League. I think they can beat Liverpool, they can beat Aston Villa, they can beat Madrid in the Champions League, and they can also beat Inter. I don't think Arsenal is strong enough in the Champions League. I think they are just a mini Manchester City. So it took Man City when Manchester City was bought by the rich people in 2012, it has taken them like 8 to 10 years for them to win the Champions League. So I wouldn't consider Arsenal. I think for Arsenal, they have to wait. They have to, since they're going the Manchester City way, they have to go to wait. I think 10 years to be contenders. So if I look at Liverpool, who are playing well, if I look at Madrid, if I look at Aston Villa has also been doing well in the Champions League. I don't see any of them matching Barcelona
You're saying that you don't see any of the teams matching Barcelona.
right now, and I stand to be challenged.
Yes, Zeglong, I know you have a lot of words. Who do you think is the perfect to win this Champions League and why? Why do you say this? Because now we are seeing teams losing. We always know that Arsenal is one of pace setters in the Champions League.
Yeah, so for me, I think it's too early to tell because, well, the Champions League, they've only played 4 games. There are still other 4 games remaining. So it's really hard to tell as of now because the Champions League will be decided next year, and we know how teams turn up. Teams which are serious will turn up next year, knowing that they have playing to compete to win the trophy. So for me, as it stands now, it seems Barcelona is playing well. We have Liverpool as top contenders, but of course you can't rule out teams like Real Madrid, even though they are, I don't know what number in the UEFA Champions League rankings, but you can't really rule them out as it stands. So for me, it's too early to call it, but we have to call out the big teams which can go far, which is Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Inter Milan plays nice football and they will go far in the Champions League. Of course, Barcelona. Uh, Teams like Aston Villa, I think I don't think they can compete throughout. They have lucky patches and their squad is not well built to compete both the Champions League and the league. So they will suffer in one of them, which I see Champions League not go past they don't go beyond the quarterfinals. So for me, it's too early to call, but I see that the big teams will always be favorites, and we had to see if there will be any dark horse which will arise and see and make it all the way to the finals. So we had to see that.
Yes, yes, Kilong. But of course, can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Yes.
can hear you.
All right, nice, nice. So, from my point of view, what I've seen in the Champions League, I can tell you that this game is very tough. I saw Arsenal playing in the San Siro Stadium, whereby they were playing against Inter Milan. You know, Inter Milan, they have one of the best strikers in the world. Of course, I thought even Lautaro is going to win this Ballon d'Or because the guy has won everything. I think this Ballon d'Or is very, very corrupt. These journalists who are going to vote for this Ballon d'Or, then they should be scrapped. Because that guy is very sharp, by the way. I saw him play in the Finalissima, in the World Cup, also in the Serie A, and he's playing a very good game. So I think we should just stop this Ballon d'Or and we focus with club performance. Because if we go into this Ballon d'Or and analyze who is going to get it, then very sure Lautaro could have won it. But Arsenal, they slipped in San Siro, whereby the only goal from Akan Kanoglu. You know, Akan Kanoglu is one of the best strikers, but he plays for Turkey. Akan Kanoglu has got a very good penalty there because Arsenal, they were still struggling. So I think Arsenal, they are not ready for this Champions League. They should wait for the next 20 years so that they can play for Champions League. But from what I've
Yes,
seen,
and it's true, Bonnie. I support
from
what
what
you're
I've
saying
seen,
because they're just a mini Manchester City. They're going the Manchester City way, and we have seen how long it has taken City. So if it has taken City that long, what about them?
when you're talking about Man City, you should not say Man City is a big team. No one knows about Man City, but no one supports Man City. This is just a team that came the other day during the times of Sami Nasri, the likes of Yaya Toure. It came the other
Michi.
day. That is just a small team with zero achievement. They just came there because of money and they're now getting every player. But if I can be asked, I thought Aston Villa is going to win. By the way, I was very shocked to see Aston Villa being defeated by Club Brugge. Club Brugge. I think Unai Emery there. If you won against Bayern Munich, why would he lose against Club Brugge? A very small team. Anyway, that is all about Champions League, and I think we are going to have more fight in the round of 16. We have still 4 games to go, as Kelong has said. We still have a long way to go. But again, you saw there is a fight between Vinicius Junior and those European clubs. Kelong, why do you think that most teams they hate Vinicius? Because I saw the post from AC Milan after they were defeated. the comment section there was full of hate. And also, I saw AC Milan social media manager replying to Vinicius Jr., asking him, where is the Ballon d'Or? Why do you think that they hate that top player? But I think he's a good player.
Yeah, for me, I can't dispute the fact that Vinicius Junior is a good player. Uh, that we all know he plays nice football. But one problem I have with him is football is a game of professionals and fair competitors. So sometimes when he plays, he incites the opposition fans, so which will always make them go against you. We have seen time before great players such as Messi, Ronaldinho, being applauded by the opposition fans because they play uh, good football and they are disciplined at the same time. So fans, even opposition fans, will appreciate that. But Vinicius Junior needs to work on his discipline in the sense that he should just concentrate on football and leave the other the, the other antics of eliciting emotions or reaction from the opposition fans. Let him concentrate on playing football, and people will acknowledge that. But if you incite opposition fans, they will always come for your neck. We also saw. We also saw Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, having the same antics, but his was not that much as Vinicius Junior. Vinicius Junior has taken it far, and of course, football fans will always hate that. So for him, I just want him to play football and just enjoy that. But if you come inciting position fans, they will always come for your neck, and that's why every other time he hits the headlines because he incites the opposition fans. That's what I think.
That is Mzee Long is saying that Vinicius Jr. should change his behavior. Alex, what is your take?
Okay, so for me, I will second what Kelong has said. There is something that people say respect is earned. We have seen many times Messi come and play at the Bernabeu, even the time when they won 3-2, and he went and put his shirt like this to the fans, and like the fans were not chanting his name or saying this or that about Messi. Why? Because they respect him as a person, and Vinicius Junior is good. We can't dispute the fact that he has been playing well across the last 3 years. He has developed. If we can recall, there was a time when Benzema was caught at the Benzema was seen saying to the players, "Do not pass to Vinicius Junior. He's playing against us." There are those videos online. So we have seen how he has been progressing over the years. But the one thing which we will question, even we had a show, I think the last time we did Dimba, and one of the panelists on the show spoke about Vinicius Junior's discipline, where he goes to incite the opposition fans. And you know some things, if you see this skin color of ours, black, it's hated there in Europe. So to you incite others and you're a black person, of course those people will do racist chants on you despite you being great in football. So as Kelong you have said, we have seen Cristiano Ronaldo do that many times, but the football fans won't come at him so much because he's not black. So there's that black effect. So if you incite others and you're black, then your goose is cooked. So those people will come after you. So that's my take on Vinicius Junior. Otherwise, you can't dispute the fact that he's a good player, and he has proven time in, time out by scoring double figures in goals and assists. So even the thing you said about the Ballon d'Or, there is some close contention between Vinicius Junior, Lautaro Martinez, and Rodri. Though I think the part where Rodri edged it a bit was the part where he he won the Euros. He was given player of the tournament. And for Vini, he went missing in action in the in the Copa America. And for Lautaro Martinez, I think he is a good player, but I think the part which he missed quite a bit is that he was not Argentina's talisman in the Copa America. So despite him winning the trophies, he wasn't really the talisman. And for Rodri, he was the talisman. For Vini, he was the talisman.
Yes, that is all about Vinicius Junior. He scored hat-trick against Osasuna, and I saw the comment section there asking him why would he not score against AC Milan, because they were defeated by AC Milan. That is Vinicius Junior. I can see Wes. Of course, you are a big fan and also a big panelist here. Wes, welcome. Naambia unasemaje kuhusu European football? Uliona Aston Villa ikipigwa na Club Brugge, Arsenal ikapigwa na Inter Milan, ukaona Real Madrid ikatandikwa. Unasemaje kuhusu Champions League? Nani atawini Champions League? Unaonaje saa hii game number 4?
Yeah, Bonnie, thank you so very much for having me. Pole, nimechelewa kidogo. I was a bit engaged, but I'm so glad. Nafurahi sana kuwaona. So, some few things for me. It's really been a busy weekend, especially across Europe and around the grounds. Hey, maze. Fantasy nilifanya ile kitu. Fantasy nilijifanya Pep, nikaeka Solanke captain bana. Solanke. Well, that was actually my highlight of the weekend. But overall, Manchester tulifanya poa.
You played against Leicester.
No. The draw between Arsenal and Chelsea was actually a good point. I mean, a good result for us as Manchester, because tuko na hopes by the way. 4 points.
Hopes gani?
Hopes gani number 13? Page number 2.
Usiangalia na number by the achana na number, angalia na points man. If ukislip tu hivi game moja tunakuja. Next game
Next game unacheza na
Ipswich. Hiyo ni 7-0 man. We'll have a new coach. So thanks Bonnie. Ulikuwa muuliza about Aston Villa. Actually, the last time you were here, ulikuwa nasema Aston Villa were in the Champions League. What happened really? Walipigwa na Club Brugge, and actually it was actually a very very silly penalty. It was a matter of discussion because it was really it was controversially awarded, because I think the same incident happened when Arsenal were playing Bayern Munich last season. And the referee actually dismissed it, saying it was a kid's mistake. You're not supposed to give that as penalties because it can happen. A different case in this one between Bayern and between Aston Villa and Club Brugge. So I think Aston Villa were actually the better team that day. It's only that right now they're not very consistent. They've actually been losing. Walipigwa na Aston Villa, they lost to Liverpool. They've lost to which team? Prior to Liverpool, they lost a game, I think. So I think they've actually been consistent, and itawaribia form. Some other time when you really need to be up there, you're supposed to be consistent, win games. That's why we can say at the moment we can say City are not favorites to win the league because they've really dropped points. So that is it, consistency. Thanks.
Yes, that is West, and of course he's saying that he knew, he heard me saying that Aston Villa they're going to win the Champions League, but they were defeated by Club Brugge, and that was a very hard thing to take from my hand, because Aston Villa, why would they lose against Club Brugge? But anyway, that is European Football Champions League. Into the Premier League, we saw all over the weekend whereby big teams they played. But since we played Manchester United, we have never had a show here. I think that is the time we were to have a show last Monday, but we never had a show. Kilong, why do you think? What is your take about Manchester United and Chelsea game? Because I know you watched the game. You saw Manchester United be awarded a penalty every time they play Chelsea. They are given a penalty, but Chelsea they are always scoring clean goals, a goal without any doubt. Kilong, what do you have to
Yeah,
say about Chelsea and Manchester United game last weekend?
yeah. Funny thing, we were with Wes watching the game, and he was excited because Manchester United are now having the new manager bounce effect, whereby after you sack a manager, the players start giving their best so that they can they can impress the incoming coach. So for me, that's what I saw really happen that game. Manchester, we're used. We know that their football sometimes they switch off, but during the game against Chelsea, they came, played throughout the 90 minutes, and they gave us a challenge, which I saw Chelsea should have should have won the game, but the draw really signified how Manchester United improved. Not really improved, just got some new form because of the new manager's bounce effect. So we are yet to see how that will translate in the long term. Ruben Amorim has now arrived at Manchester United, but I know in the next 1 year he will be also be on his way out because Manchester United have a reputation of destroying careers, and I don't know if Ruben Amorim will really survive. He should have stayed in Sporting CP and look forward to a serious club because Manchester United they will obviously ruin his career. It is a matter of when, not if. So for me, that's how I saw the game on last Sunday, which was between Manchester United and Chelsea. Um, Another game that I would like to comment on is the one that happened yesterday between Arsenal and Chelsea. It was a interesting match, competitive match. Arsenal were trying to make a point because they have lost, I think, 2 games or 1 game, and they came off really strong, uh, but they never did enough to win the game. So for me, I saw the game was well balanced. We know Chelsea is a young team with young players and less experience compared to Arsenal. Arsenal have had the same manager for the past 5 years, so they have their playing philosophy well articulated across the team, and they understand it. So for me, I saw it was a nice challenge, and it was a 50-50 chance for any team to win. So Chelsea coming with a draw was a fair result, and yeah, heading to the international break as the third team. Although we are tied with other teams, and the difference between the top number 10 and number 3 is almost 1 or 2 points. For me, I see great improvement that Chelsea is making, and I was seeing the statistics that Chelsea is one of the teams that has faced difficult opponents so far. So after the international breaks, we'll have a fair a fair string of matches, which obviously will make us progress well. So for me, as it stands now, Chelsea is improving.
Frank Long is saying that Chelsea they have been facing tough teams, but you know they have played against Tottenham, Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool. You know big teams, but still they are on top three. So I think this is the season that Chelsea is going to win Champions League, Euro, Conference, EPL, all of those. Chelsea is going to win those things. Alex, you saw Chelsea play against Man United. I saw them playing, and I think Manchester United, the time they playing Chelsea, that is the time that they are going to give you the best performance. What do you have to say about that game?
So for me, Bonnie, first of all, I was disappointed with the game we played against United, because I expected us to do better. I expected us to go to Old Trafford and make a statement victory. We show the new coach Ruud van Nistelrooy that we are in charge, and we penetrate them and we put four past them. But I saw a game where, let me say, there was tactical imbalance. Each coach tried to play safe, and I think United had the better chances than us. So I think the problem was capitalizing on them, because we saw time in, time out, Garnacho getting lots and lots of chances, but he was just putting it there for Robert Sanchez to get them. And I think, Bonnie, I will raise some questions about this season from Chelsea. Uh, there was a time I said, but not on this show, but there's a time I was speaking to someone and I said that we have to progress. Since we removed Mauricio Pochettino, we brought in Enzo Maresca. I expect us to go higher than last season. So for last season, we didn't lose to Manchester City. In fact, we played against them, and we that was the best game of the season, because we were able to come back each time City scored against us. This season, we were beaten by City, and once again, we are beaten by Liverpool. The only difference is that the scoreline isn't a lot, and we have played against Arsenal. We went to Lipata draw, so I'm seeing this season that we still have some challenges against the big teams. Palmer hasn't stepped up against the big teams to score, which we should start raising issues. And what else? I think it's high time, Bonnie, we have to move on from guys like Robert Sanchez, because Robert Sanchez caused the penalty for Manchester United. There was no need for him to go and catch Rasmus Højlund. He just needed to block him to make sure he doesn't get a chance of shooting. I'll also raise the question of the goal against the one which Martinelli scored. It was a near post. The angle was very tight, so I don't know how Martinelli was able to score on a tight angle, and we'll raise questions about Malo Gusto. Where was Gusto to be able to mark Gabriel Martinelli, because he was all alone? So that's when I really missed Rhys James, because under Rhys James, when he's there, the right back, even after being injured for so long, we always see Rhys James always puts the attackers in the pocket, the same way Marco Correa did with Bukayo Saka yesterday. So for me, Bonnie, I think we have to move on from Robert Sanchez. We have to get a good goalkeeper who is good at playing with at the back, and a goalkeeper who can catch balls, leave alone Robert Sanchez, who makes those Superman saves. We need a proper goalkeeper, and I think Enzo Maresca has to do better than Mauricio Pochettino, not just getting top four. It's high time we get a trophy, because in the Roman Abramovich era, Chelsea wasn't finishing a season without a trophy, and that should be the club culture. So I think otherwise, I think we have to do better against the big teams. Palmer has to step up and score. It's a good thing we got a draw against Arsenal. We are still above them in the table, despite them making fun of us. So, but when we go to the Emirates this time, no picking five, we go there, we get the draw. The big games that are coming to the Stamford Bridge, we have to win all of them, including Manchester United. So, Bonnie, don't be scared. We will beat United at Stamford Bridge. That one I can guarantee
No,
you.
why you say we will beat? Do you know the team that I support?
Yes, you're a big Chelsea fan.
No, me, I'm not a Chelsea fan. I'm actually a big fan of Nuno Esperanto side, Nottingham Forest. Me, I'm not a Chelsea fan. I say we will. No, you should not even include me there.
Okay, so let me say me and Kelong.
Where's uliona game ya Man U na Chelsea? Hiyo ndio game tunaongelelea. Unasemaje kuhusu hiyo game? Hiyo penalty ilikuwa penalty ama ilikuwa mlitibia?
It's a soft one though. He will say it was a justified one. It was a soft penalty.
I mean, if you see the one given against West Ham, I mean, if you compare the two, man, hiyo ni pena. You can't even argue. And the thing about hizi pena, especially kani keeper, ref hawajai kuwa lenient to goalkeepers because you see unajaribu kukimbia, unajaribu kushika ball as a goalkeeper, you try your best to ukuwe wa kwanza kufikia ball, but unfortunately ukishika tu mguu, si lazima ikue, hata kama ni soft touch aje, lazima ipeoneka pena, and you've seen such incidents so many occasions. They're given as penalties. And nonetheless, hata kasi pena, niko very sure your game ingesha draw 0-0. If it was to end in a draw, ingesha 0-0, because either way we had chances, we didn't convert. Chelsea had no chances at all, so ingesha to 0-0. So my fair assessment of the game is it was a good game, especially for us Manchester. Confidence haikuwa. Coming into that game nilikuwa najua, yeah, it's a good game, I know. It's a big game, but we didn't really have the confidence because of the past results, So I think it was a good game for us. We bounced back really well. We played well yesterday. We played well ever since, even in the Europa League. And by the way, you guys played FC now on Thursday.
I think that was the biggest European tournament, right? 8 goals thriller. FC Noah. Although that is
it's because you guys are playing full-time plumbers and part-time footballers,
Yo, that was hizo zilikuwa bao mingi sana. Unajua hiyo ilikuwa ni timu kubwa. Although ilikuwa founded, niliona ilikuwa founded in 2018 ama
2017, yeah.
It's a small team.
I think it's a team from Armenia, and it's
Yeah.
a good, actually, in their league wako sawa, because I think especially from a gambler's point of view, it's a good team because I think they usually lead in their league. Conference League is actually a league where your balloon guy is start padding. Yuko kona stats mse, hey, uko bana. End of basic Conference League bana.
Don't call him balloon guy, and Manchester wants to sign him on January. So call him our prospective player.
Yes,
because
we have a big fan for Manchester here. By the way, he plays Ruji. Joel, karibu sana, tuambie wewe ulionaje game ya Man U na Chelsea kwanza. Man U na Chelsea last weekend. Wachana na hii ya jana ya Chelsea na Arsenal. Hiyo penalty Man U ilipewa, ilikuwa penalty ama ilikuwa tu ni kuibiwa?
Hiyo na ilikuwa penalty legit. Ndio kama unanisikia.
Nakusikia.
Hebu rudia hiyo swali yako.
Nauliza, Chelsea na Man U walicheza na Man U ikapatiwa penalty. Hiyo ilikuwa penalty ama ni kuibiwa? Chelsea ilibiwa. Maana Chelsea ilifunga clean goal.
I'm not talking wacha sasa niongee kama a real fan of Manchester. Wewe hata ukiangalia tu vizuri hiyo penalty. It was a real penalty. Ilikuwa tu wazi yani. Ilikuwa tu wazi, hii is a penalty. But sasa penye mlitushikia, I don't know what's wrong with Chelsea. Nyinyi within 4 to 7 minutes hapo mnakwanga mkishafungwa ndio mnaamka. But ilikuwa inafaa tuwapige hata mabao mingi sana. Yani hiyo game tulishinda. Ni vile tu yani luck was not on our side that day. But technically that game we won. We won spiritually, physically, kila kitu tuliwatandika. Hata hiyo penalty yenye mnasema tuliibiwa haikuwa wizi, ilikuwa tu, it was just something, ilikuwa wazi tu, Ozil analiangushwa tu hapo yani kimalenge tu. Hizo zilikuwa simple mistakes that zina cost hii team yenu, lakini ilikuwa tu mtandikwe, si ati nini.
Ni fani wa Man U anasema ati Chelsea ilikuwa itandikwe.
Ilikuwa tu itandikwe.
Ai mzee Kilongo amekataa hiyo maneno.
No, I would say this. a drowning man will always clutch on straws. So for me, the penalty against Manchester was a soft one, but of course they would say it was well deserved because apart from that, they have no creativity, and their players, the chances they are saying, their players cannot convert them because they are poor. Because the shots that Granacho was making, it was easy save for our guy Sanchez. So for me, I saw that Manchester played well because of the new manager bounce effect. That's the only uh, way we can explain, because they have been poor all season until they sacked Ten Hag. That's when the players started showing that they can play. But give them time, they will go back to their normal self. They will lose against small teams, not a lot. They will not win against big teams. And regardless of the coach, I don't think Ruben Amorim will help them, because for me, I see Manchester United has a structural issue, and until I see Sir James Radcliffe came as a new ownership. So for him, he has to to really change Manchester United so that they can be competitive again. Uh, but as it stands now, they are in number 13, and they are well deserved to stay there. So, Bonnie, once again, thank you. I will drop off, and thank you for having me here. It was nice meeting with the other panelists. We'll meet sometime soon. So, thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mzee Kilong, and of course, you are always honoring my invite in the show, and I will be happy to have you here. We see you next time. That is Mzee Kilong, and he's one of our Chelsea fans here, always giving a very good banter to Manchester United. West, you saw a game between Chelsea and Arsenal yesterday. Yaani hiyo game wewe ulionaje? Kwa maoni yako uliona hiyo game ilikuwaje? Arsenal ilikuwa inashinda ama Chelsea ilipoteza chance mingi pale? Wewe ulionaje? Kwa maoni yako uliona hiyo game aje?
Game venye niliona ilikuwa it was actually a tactical masterclass between coaches hao wawili. Arteta pia alikuwa na plan yake, Maresca pia alikuwa na plan yake. And the highlight of the game actually ilikuwa midfield, because I think we saw comparisons between Partey and and Caicedo, because it was a battle of the midfield. So I think it was really a good game. Arsenal played well. On my side, it was a fair draw really, because ilikuwa balanced. You see, when you watch a game alafu unaona venye tu inasonga, you really wish it ends in a draw, because it's a balanced game really. I mean, both teams are playing really, really well, and the best they can do is go home with a point each, because it was a really good game. I think based on the recent events in regards to the Arsenal, walikuja hiyo game wakiwa the underdogs. I think because as Chelsea have really been consistent kidogo, probably maybe the draws here and there, but Arsenal ilikuwa imedrop points. I think 3 defeats in a row. So they were really trying to step up, and they did very, very well. Playing against a team like Chelsea at home, and while sucking your pressure is good, they were able to play really, really well. They played like they were really, really good. So yeah, on my side, it was a fair draw. I mean, both teams played really well, and hopefully, on my side as a Manchester fan, by the way, it was a good point for us, because at least if you draw, you're losing 2 points, and on our game week we had 3 points. So I think it was a fair result for us as a rival fan, and also for the game, it was a fair result. Thanks.
Saying that it was a fair game, fair result for the Rebel fans. But the comparison between Partey and Caicedo, I think Caicedo is far much ahead, because that guy. But the problem that I can see when it comes to Chelsea is like they are lacking that creative midfielder, because Lavia together with Caicedo, they are all made of hard work, just strong. They are just strong. But when it comes to being creative, they don't have that eye for scoring goals. They don't have the eye for giving that clean chances for scoring goals. So I think that is the problem that you are missing there. And if Chelsea could be playing Caicedo and Enzo, I don't know why Enzo Maresca is keeping Enzo as part of Team B, because that guy is always looking for the goal. His eyes are always on the post. The moment he gets the ball, then you know that he's going to give you that post. So I think Enzo Maresca is still not consistent with giving us the best lineup. And yet, they have that striking force. If they could use yesterday Palmer, Neto together with Joe Felix, I'm very sure they could have won. But still, Felix could not even get 1 minute to play. Gugu came in the 87th minute. Something that I know Wes is not happy for that, because he always say that Gugu always celebrate in the conference against FC Noah. Joel, uliona game ya Arsenal jana na Chelsea? Ulionaje pale? Nani alifaa kushinda pale hiyo game? Joel, Joe, we were mute. You are mute. You are on mute. You saw Chelsea versus Arsenal yesterday. Hiyo game ulionaje? Joel, unanisikia? Yes, Alex. Ulisema jana Sanchez alifanya mistake pale na ndio maana Chelsea ilipoteza dhidi ya Arsenal. Do you think that is the major problem that made Chelsea not to win that game?
Okay, so venye nasema Boni, Sanchez is not the worst of goalkeepers, but we have to raise questions about his distribution and also this style of his of Superman punching the ball. You see, anytime he gets anytime a cross is brought in, instead of him catching the ball, he Superman punches it out, and that is it's so unprofessional. So I think we need to get a pro goalkeeper. Last season we had Petrovic and Mauricio Pochettino, and Petrovic was so good with the ball at his feet. He was cool, he was calm, despite him being a bit inexperienced. He was showing up some bit of prowess that he can do well. So Sanchez was on the bench. So and immediately Enzo Maresca came in. He put Sanchez at the start. Then he loaned out Petrovic to Strasbourg, a club that is owned by the Todd Boehly and Egbali. So I think we need Boni. I'm not saying Onana is the best goalkeeper, but I like his distribution. So we need a goalkeeper who can distribute the ball well and can still be good at making saves, because we can't dispute the fact that Robert Sanchez makes some miraculous saves. He does, but we still expect more from him, and I think he's one of the reasons that he's letting Chelsea down. Because last season, Boni against Arsenal at the Bridge, he brought Arsenal back in when he gave Declan Rice the ball to his feet, and he was able to score, and that's how Arsenal came back. The game against Manchester United this season, he did the same. United could not score from open play, and I stand to be challenged. They had to score from the penalty. And why was that? Robert Sanchez. So you have to raise those issues. He has to be sent to the bench or loaned to another team.
Yes, that is Alex. Joel, kwa haraka haraka tu, wewe ulionaje hiyo game ya Arsenal jana na Chelsea? Nani angefaa kushinda pale?
Hiyo game though ilikuwa game ingine competitive sana, ilikuwa mlipimana nguvu from both sides, but technically Arsenal ilikuwa ishindio game. Juu ukiangalia hiyo technical change yenye nani alifanya second half, Arteta alifanya second half, ilikuwa inafaa tu contributions mingi zilitoka kwa Bukayo Saka, the likes of Bukayo Saka na Martin Odegaard walicheza game ingine creative sana, so there were a lot of chances that maybe wali waste, ndio wakafanya, but they didn't deserve the win, but Arsenal technically wali deserve your win jana.
Hey, Joel is saying that Arsenal were to win that game yesterday against the Stamford Bridge side. Hey, hawa ni
Yes.
marivals wanasema jana Chelsea ingetandikwa. Of course, we are heading
But
to the international break.
kitu na hiyo game ya jana, kitu nilipoint out jana muli huyu jamaa anaitwa Kukurela huyo jamaa alicheza game, alitukazia vizuri sana. That one I have
He was the man of the match,
alikazia
by
watu
the way.
Arsenal vizuri. Yes. He deserved it.
Yeah, I remember Wes. There is a time when Marco Cucurella was linked to Manchester United. Wes was very happy, by the way. But I'm sorry, Wes, you could not get Marco Cucurella. Is our horn.
Yeah, Bonnie. Yeah, I saw Cucurella playing for even before joining Brighton. By then, actually I used to watch the La Liga games. I think alikuwa, was it Osasuna or a club in Spain?
Marseille.
It was. Ilikuwa?
If not Marseille, it's Girona.
No. Hakuwa Girona, but he was somewhere in Osasuna. I think because he was wearing blue. Alikuwa amevaa blue. And alikuwa anacheza vizuri sana. So even I think Brighton are so good in doing scouting. Mpaka they are going to the Spanish La Liga to get a guy like that. And you saw, and I think and how he plays football. Some other time when he joined Chelsea first, Chelsea were a bit struggling, because he was almost flopping by there. Tulikuwa tunamuita Cucurella, making fun of him, bantering him, his hairstyle. He was facing so much banter because if there was a point we were comparing him with Akina Wan-Bissaka, because he wasn't really good, lakini ame step up. You saw what happened in Euros. By the Euros alicheza vizuri sana. He was actually in the team of the tournament. He helped Spain win the Euros. The game against which team? I think because hii si mara ya kwanza anacheza vizuri by the season. Kuna game pia amecheza vizuri sana, and yesterday was exemplary. I mean, alikuwa very perfect. You can't you can't give him enough flowers. I mean, you will have to give him everything. Mazi alikuwa sawa sana. Kwanza Saka, I mean, man handling Saka is the toughest assignment. Saka very well, how he plays. You can't really predict his movements. Uliona venye alikuwa anafanyia Robertson, uliona venye alifanyia ama players wengine. So I think hata alishikanga nani by the was it when they were playing PSG, Saka alikuwa mkali, but jana Cucurella, it was the easiest assignment for him by the alicheza vizuri sana. And Cucurella is a very very good player. On my side, if given chance to resign Cucurella, probably maybe go for Cucurella ama nani ama Dalot. Man, nipe Cucurella kila siku.
Wes is saying that he is a big fan of Cucurella since like he's huko Spanish La Liga. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. The way he's playing, he plays for the band. And yesterday, we even saw Chelsea new man Pedro Neto giving us also Pedro Rodriguez vibes, whereby we are not used to Pedro. Pedro nowadays plays for Lazio, but the way he is controlling that forward, then Neto, he did a good job over there. And it was a fair game. I could say that Arsenal played well, Chelsea plays well. So sharing points, it was good for both coaches because they did a good job. As we head to the internationals, we are seeing the Premier League now having number one as Liverpool. Joel, do you think that Liverpool are going to win this Premier League? Of course, Man City lost to Brighton.
Right now naweza sema it's a one horse race, because at the top, look at the point differences hapa na pale, but we still have hopes as Manchester United fans. We still have hopes that tables turn. Na ukiangalia the games that are coming after the international break, we can say that Chelsea maybe wako na teams like Chelsea, they'll start facing the weak-link teams. For example, obviously Chelsea is going to win against Leicester, so definitely difference in points is going to reduce with time. So we cannot still say that Liverpool is going to win the Premier League, but also Man City are going to wake up. We can say maybe the injuries hapa na pale zimechangia wakaflop, but Man City I still believe in Man City. Na Pep Guardiola ni ule. That man is yeye ni mchawi kuja kwa football. So we cannot still say that Liverpool has, even Manchester we still can. Anyway, wacha tuone, but siwezi sema Liverpool atabeba ligi at the moment.
Joel say that Liverpool hawezi beba ligi hii season by the way. West uliona Man City litandikwa na Brighton. Man City itabeba ligi season kweli?
Not a chance was hawezi beba. Not unless wa unleash ile wakona what can you say? They have something during December. They usually go like unbeaten since from deck mpaka ligi ishe. Not unless, but for now not a chance, man, not a chance, because how they played against Brighton really, if you can't compare how they're playing now na venye walikuwa wanacheza last season. Hii season wako hawana moral. I think they're tired of winning too much. There's a theory that says if you win a lot, you get tired, you get exhausted until you can't win anymore. Because I think if you compare how they're playing now, especially the players like akina Walker, by the Walker amechapa mbaya sana. Players like akina the defense akina Ruben Diaz. If you can't really compare how they're playing now. Because so I think not a chance City wins leagues this season, not even a cup. I mean, yeah, we had to play the FA Cup, lakini sidhani kama anaweza win anything. No trophy for City this season.
No trophy for City this season. Alex.
No trophy.
Alex, Man City inashinda ligi hii season.
It depends. Venye tu Wes amesema if they are to win this they have to go on a run of, let's say, more than 20 matches unbeaten. It's like they have to win almost all their games for them to win this title. But the good thing is, Bonnie, City have 23 points, Liverpool have 28. So if City do still stand a chance of winning the league, they have to beat Liverpool, let's say home and away, and hope that Arsenal iwafanyie ile kitu for them to be able to cut short the points. But I still think City can do. But for them itabidi hizo the nini once the injuries zao zipungue, we see the likes of Ruben Diaz and Stones, they will be back after international break. Once KDB is back to fully fitness, and I think January they need to go and get a holding midfielder, because I don't think Kovacic is the best at holding, though he's good at being a box-to-box midfielder. I think they have to go and get somebody like Zubimendi, somebody who can hold the midfield the way Rodri does. And I think also City are lacking two wingers when they're delivering goals and assists. This season we had to see the Phil Foden of last season, and I don't think guys like Doku and Savinho are ready to step up and chip in with goals and assists. And so I think also Pep Guardiola has to reinvent his game. I think he needs to bring back the 2018-2019 Manchester City, whereby they were high on pressing. They could smoke teams, and I think they were dominant. They were attacking. Where ulikuwa unasikia hivi Boni, Chelsea is playing against City, and you could shake because you're not going to pick 3 points. But right now, if I hear we're playing City, I'm not going to be afraid. So I think he has to reinvent his football. Injuries Rudy, and he adds two more wingers in January who are going to chip in with goals and assists. Go and get a holding midfielder, and I think with those things, City inachukua ligi.
Yes, that was awesome. We have had almost 1 hour, 20 minutes for the sports show here on Africa 24. I want to say thank you so much, Wes, Joel, and Alex for joining us for this post-match analysis. And we head for the international break. This weekend, we are not having the Premier League, but still we shall have this Timber show because the international breaks are still there. We shall be seeing Harambee Stars playing. So I want to say thank you so much, Wes, Alex, and Joel. Just 5 seconds for the closing remark. We start with Joel. Joel is not there. Wes unaweza tupatia sekunde 5 tu za kikwako.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bonnie, for hosting us. Round 2.
Round 2. Alex.
Watu wa subscriber freak.
Thank you so much, guys. And of course, this was a post-match analysis here in Africa 24. I am your host for today's, whereby we have had a very good show for sport. If you're joining us for the first time here, you can go like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hear the live, join, and also you tend to know what is happening all over the world in terms of sports, politics, and all kind of news in the whole world. Because in Africa 24, we always unlock stories that you cannot get them anywhere. And of course, if you want to join Dimba, then you can join, tell us, and discuss more about football. As a Chelsea fan, I want to say it is a fair start for Chelsea, because as we head to the internationals, we are going to come back against, and we will be facing those more teams. After fighting against the top 5, now it is high time now to collect 3 points. All the best to Enzo Maresca side. Thank you so much. Same place, same time. Africa 24.